Today I will talk about marketing research. This is part of my series of lectures on marketing management. This is my lecture outline. I will talk about definition of marketing research, purpose, scope, application and procedure of marketing research, stages of marketing research. Then I'll talk about research design, sampling, data collection, data processing and analysis, and finally a little bit about Indian scenario of marketing research. So as far as production, finance and personnel decisions are concerned, the information required is primarily generated within the firm. So it is easy to collect and analyze. However, in the area of marketing, information required for decision making exists outside the firm, and the variables are often qualitative and dynamic in nature, and their measurement is difficult. Moreover, the variables interact with each other. So these are the difficulties in marketing research and in decision making about marketing. The principal task of marketing management is to fulfill the aspirations of the consumers. Marketing research is the function which provides necessary information about the consumer to the marketer. Marketing research is defined as the objective and formal process of collecting information, analyzing results, and communicating the findings and their implications in terms of marketing actions. The American Marketing Association defines marketing research as the systematic gathering, recording, and analyzing of data about problems related to the marketing of goods and services. CRISPS defined marketing research as the systematic, objective, and exhaustive search for and study of the facts relevant to any problem in the field of marketing. So let us see purpose of marketing research. To facilitate the decision-making process related to marketing, as we have seen in our first slide, to reduce the risk associated with the process of decision-making. Marketing research helps firms in discovering opportunities which can be profitably exploited. Scope of marketing research in sales analysis, measurement of market potential and demand projection, determination of market characteristics, market share estimation, studies of business trends. Marketing research has a role in sales method and policies, product management, advertising research, as we will see later, in media research and copy research, in corporate research and syndicate research. By marketing research, we can identify and fulfill customer needs and wants. We can decide on product and product design. Marketing research can provide information on the most cost-effective media, help determine the advertising budget, measure the effectiveness of specific advertisement, advertising campaign, and entire advertising strategy. We can discover types of distribution channels and retail outlets which are most profitable for our product by using marketing research. Marketing research is being increasingly used at macro level also, that is socio-economic development schemes. Applications of marketing research. It has application in sales and market analysis, in product research, in business economics and corporate research, in advertising research, in consumer behavior research. I will talk about detail on each one of these. In sales and market analysis, the role of or application of marketing research is determination of market potential, determination of market share, sales forecasting, market segmentation studies, test market, distribution channel studies, determination of market characteristics, determination of competitive information. Application in product research include evaluation of new product ideas, testing for new product acceptance, evaluating the need for change in product formulation, testing package design in terms of aesthetic appeal, protection for the product, and ability to withstand transportation and stocking ordeals. Testing for product positioning. Should a new brand of tea be positioned on the basis of its fragrance, or taste, or color, and strength, or price? Application in business economics and corporate research, studies of business trends, pricing studies, diversification studies, product mix studies, plant and warehouse location studies. Application in advertising research, audience measurement, determining the most cost-effective media plan, copy testing, determining advertising effectiveness. Application in consumer behavior research, to determine who the customers of the product are and profile them in terms of their socioeconomic background, age, religion, occupation. To find out where the customers are located, to determine their motivation to purchase our product, to determine their buying behavior patterns in terms of identifying source of information and influence and sequence of purchase decisions, find out the post-purchase satisfaction level of consumers or customers. So procedure of marketing research. There are 5 steps. First one is problem definition, then research design, then field work, then data analysis, and report presentation and implementation. We will see in detail the steps. So stages. So these are the stages in marketing research. First of all, we define the problem, then we state the research objectives, then we plan the research design, then we plan the sample, then we collect the data, analyze the data, we conclude, and we prepare our report. So first step is defining the problem. Clear problem definition is of crucial importance in marketing research. In order to define the problem more precisely, some sort of exploratory research may also be undertaken. The methods properly in use are survey of secondary data, experience survey, or pilot studies. And the second step is statement of research objective. Research objectives may be stated in qualitative or quantitative terms and expressed as research question statement or hypothesis. Then planning the research design. A research design is master plan specifying the procedure for collecting and analyzing the needed information. The design chosen may be from exploratory, descriptive, quasi-experimental, or experimental design categories. We will see in detail quasi-experimental and experimental design categories. Then we plan the sample. First of all, we need to state what is the target population. Then we need to estimate the sample size. And then we need to decide on sampling methods, which may be probabilistic or non-probabilistic methods. Third is data collection. Data collection may be by observation or by communication methods. Data processing is next step, in which we do data editing, data coding, data classification, tabulation, presentation, and finally data analysis. Then final step is formulating conclusion, preparing and presenting the report. Report include title page, table of contents, introduction, statement of objectives, methodology section, limitations of study, findings, conclusion and recommendations, and appendices. Then let us see in little detail about research design. Research design should furnish following details: statement of objectives of the study, statement of data inputs required, and the method of analysis. So these are the conditions which are to be met on causality assessment. So there should be a strong association between causal variable and effect variable. The causal variable must precede the observed outcome, that is effect variable. No other possible factors exist which could have resulted in observed outcome. So this is the assessment of causality. Then exploratory research design. Exploratory research are mainly used for providing information to enable a more precise problem definition or hypothesis formulation, as we have seen in previous slide. Establishing research priorities, giving the researcher a feel of problem situation and familiarizing him with the problem, collecting information about possible problems in carrying out research using specific collection tools and specific techniques for analysis. The generally used methods in exploratory research are survey of existing literature, survey of experienced individuals, and analysis of selected case situations. So this is about exploratory research design. Then descriptive research design. Descriptive research can be used to describe the characteristics of certain groups of interest to the marketer, to estimate the proportion of people in a given population who believe in a certain way, to make specific predictions for specified future periods, to develop inferences whether certain variables are associated. The generally used methods in descriptive research include panel research design, cross-sectional design, and focus group design. Then factors influencing experiments validity include history, maturation, sensitizing testing effect, instrumentation, selection bias, and test unit mortality. These are the factors which influence experiment validity. So first of all, let us see quasi-experimental design. So like a true experimental design, a quasi-experimental design aims to establish a cause and effect relationship between an independent and dependent variable. Unlike a true experiment, a quasi-experiment does not rely on random assignment. In quasi-experiment, subjects are assigned to group based on non-random criteria. Quasi-experimental design is a useful tool in situations where true experiments cannot be used for either ethical or practical reasons. So these are quasi-experimental design. One is the cross sign represent the intervention. So after intervention, there is one observation. So there is no control. So it is after only without control group. This is before and after without control group. So there is no control group. There is observation before and after the intervention. The static group comparison. This is the static group comparison. There is no pre-test. It is only the post-test observation after intervention between the experimental and control group. Then I have taken these from this is interesting article. Then this is longitudinal design or time series design of quasi-experimental nature. So these are observations and before the intervention, and these are after the intervention. Then multiple time series design. This is the multiple time series design. It has a control group and experimental group, and these are observations in sequence. Then these are experimental designs. So in experimental design, there is randomization. So this is after only with one control group. This is before after with one control group. So this is before and after intervention. And there is no intervention in control group because intervention is only there in experimental group. This is the Solomon 4 group design. This is the design, a treatment group with both pre-intervention and post-intervention measurement. A control group with both pre-test and post-test measurement, and a treatment group with only post-test measurement, and control group with only post-test measurement. But there is no intervention in the control group. This is the analysis of Solomon 4 group design. This is the treatment effect, and this is sensitizing testing effect. Then experimental design, other include completely randomized design, randomized block design, when there are groups of cases. Then this is Latin square design. There is the ABCD are treatments, and these are two variables. One is cities and there is packaging. So each treatment occurs only once in each row and once in each column. So this is about Latin square design. Then about sampling. The data collection through sampling definitely involves lower cost, saves time. A sample is better in situation in which measuring of a particular element destroy the element or render them useless after examination. A census is desirable when the population is small, the variable in the characteristic being measured is large, and the fixed cost of sampling is very high. So then we can enumerate each and every entity or individual. It is census. Limitation of sampling includes sampling error and non-sampling error. So these are terms. One is element, the other is population or universe. Then next term is sampling units, then sampling frame. Sampling frame is a list of sampling units belonging to the population to be studied. Then there is study population. So the steps in sampling include define the population, specify sampling frame, choose appropriate sampling design, probability, non-probability, and determine the sample size. So these are the steps in sampling. The probability sampling methods include simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, cluster sampling, area sampling. Non-probability sampling methods include convenience sampling, judgment sampling, quota sampling, and snowball sampling. These are the sampling sample size estimation methods. So for single mean, this is the formula. We need this number of cases. For two mean, this is the formula. This n is in each group. Then this is formula for single proportion. This is for two proportion. This is for correlation, whether CR1 is this. So readers who are interested, they can refer to my book. This is online. This is the DOI number of the book. And this is the ISBN number of ebook. Then data collection. Data may be primary or secondary. Primary data collected specifically for the research situation, and secondary data are already published and collected for purpose other than specific research needs at hand. So first of all, secondary data. Secondary data, these are government publications. We can refer to library, we can refer to research agencies and data services. These are certain government publications from India. The advantages of secondary data, economy of resources, that it offers both in terms of money and time. They provide access to information which would not ordinarily be obtainable by an individual organization. The data is less prone to be biased. Limitations of secondary data, the data fitness problem, unit of measurement, class definition, recency. The accuracy problem, identify the data source, examine the purpose for which data was published, and assess the source in terms of quality of data expected. Then primary data, the sources are respondents or analogous case situations, which include case study, simulation, and research experiments. So primary data is collected for the present study. Advantages of primary data include provide more detailed information, terms and units can be more precisely defined, degree of confidence can be judged. Sources of error include sampling error, non-response error, response error due to respondent or investigator, or ambiguity. Data collection tool include communication methods, that is interview, which may be structured or unstructured, direct and indirect interview, and the medium may be personal, mail, telephone. Then the second is the observation method, medium is manually or mechanically, and the third is experiment method. So these are the data collection tools. Then data processing and analysis. First of all, data is edited, then coded, classified, presented in the form of tables and graphs, and analyzed. Data editing is the process of examining the raw data to detect errors and omissions and to correct them if possible, so as to ensure legibility, completeness, consistency, and accuracy. Coding is the process of assigning some symbols, either alphabetical or numerical or both, to the answer so that responses can be recorded into a limited number of classes or categories, and the classes must be exhaustive and must be mutually exclusive. Data classification is a process of arranging the data in groups or classes on the basis of some characteristics. Benefits include condensation of data, it facilitates comparison, it helps to study relationships, and it facilitates statistical treatment of data. The classification should be unambiguous and mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Data classification according to attributes, either simple classification or manifold classification, and classification may also be according to numerical characteristics. Tabulation is used for summarization and condensation of data. Types include simple tabulation, complex tabulation, and cross tabulation. These are graphical representation of data. These are the options we have, and there are many more special charts. So descriptive and inferential statistics, there are two types of statistics, and data analysis may be univariate, bivariate, or multivariate. So finally, Indian scenario, the problems include meager secondary data, widely scattered sampling units in remote and inaccessible areas, uncooperative attitude of respondents. So these are some of the problems of doing market research in India. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.